We are going to be all set. How's it going, Nakama? The DarkBriton is back for another discussion because the first one didn't really have everyone here. Not gonna say who, but hey, just saying. We are back at full strength, pretty much. And we've got Samurai Drew back for thoughts on the One Piece live action. Sagrain has actually watched more than 2 episodes. He's up to 5. Yes, we are there. It's going to be amazing. We can actually have someone other than me talking about my own thoughts. So we also were going to have a friend who is a normie, quote unquote, but I don't think they can make it. If they jump in, great, and we'll get their thoughts. But we will be going for about an hour, out little around there. So in this stream, we are going to be talking about the live action, as well as a little bit of a deep dive into how we even got there, as well as Oda dropping a little bit of a update, if you will, since we've even had that conversation. So in that, Samurai Drew was really, really excited about this. I'm going to go ahead and get the screen ready for it as well. But the One Piece live action actually went through a lot to get to where we needed to go, right? So, Drew, did you want to touch on it a little bit and start the conversation?
I just want to say, like, we made that episode that was talking about, like, is this casting good or whatever. Of course, I think we were, the thumbnail was like, no, the casting's awful, but the video was actually like, oh yeah, actually we like them. And that was like the first good news for the series. And then, like, the only thing that they have on, their little trailer was like, it was showing the progress of making the ships. And so I think that's really important that
True.
they were going for the sets, which was an interesting thought. Because I'm glad that they didn't waste their time too much, I guess, on like a costume or CGI. The actual sets are so cool, and they hired a lot of people from South Africa.
That's where it was. I forgot that's where the filming was.
Yeah, the mayor came out on the set and was like, "Thank you for hiring so many of my people," or something like that. And yeah, anyway, so I just love the whole idea that there's a lot of craftsmanship, and I like the idea also is that as they're building the ship, Luffy, is that episode 5 or something like that? I think that is episode 5 when Luffy goes on the ship deck. Did you see that part of the grade?
That should be episode 4 or 3 when he first met Usopp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was episode 3.
Now I'm gonna have to look this up, but I think that just for like as they're building the ships, they use that shipyard to film that scene, and that feels like the first scene that they filmed. I want to double check that, but that scene of them walking up to that ship, like as they're building. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the first thing that they filmed because anyway, it looks so good.
Well,
It looks very incomplete, right?
Well, here's the thing. To Drew's point about the ships, like, when you think about One Piece and it being a show about pirates, that is such a huge thing you have to hit. And I even pulled up in front of the stream, June 2nd of 2022 is when we started getting the videos and sneak peeks and all that stuff. So, like, the Baratie and what that looked like, as well as starting to get the cast. So that was over a year ago. I think even in a lot of the production, a lot of it was in South Africa when it was recorded. But this started, 2016, wasn't it? The entire conversation of One Piece and, like, being a live action with Netflix. I'm trying to, let's see if I can find Oda's Eiichiro. Oda.
Like, wanted them to reshoot a scene, and like everyone was critical of Noro's line about how you don't call out your finishing moves, and he like justified it. I think that was so good. Oda, his marketing with it, like the whole team, it just makes the series good too. It just makes it seem like the whole crew's on board. Try to make this thing go off the air. It's like, you saw like the promotional material too. overseas, like One Piece, the live action, isn't it like getting like advertised to you at all? Like when it's going on?
I don't think I've seen it. So it was officially announced in 2022, right?
Yeah.
Then I haven't seen it. It was after the sanctions, so I haven't seen it. So,
Oh man, can you give me like a one sentence or two? What is that? The sanctions on what? Like, can you give me a one sentence summary on that, or try to?
the sanctions is like economic and like commercial sanctions. So a lot of businesses have been leaving the country, and then like there is no one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, was there like an embargo on information? I'm so confused.
No, but there's no ads, no more ads, like international ads in Russia, because that is like business. So I wouldn't see it. Yeah.
The Russians are against One Piece. Is that what you're telling me?
That's wild.
That's crazy. No way. He's probably into it. He saw it. He's like, okay, but they can watch this. I think that's probably.
I'm trying to find the announcement.
Just thought about a tangent real quick, just because, you know, why not? Do you think One Piece is more capitalist or more socialist? Or, capitalist or,
Well, that is one of the reasons why I think One Piece is the best story, because no matter how you look at it, anyone can take their own little understandings of how it should be. Like, I can look at Luffy and be like, oh, that's socialism. Everyone pitches in and then everyone gets out. Other people can be like, no, that's libertarianism because he just takes, but he doesn't really give in. And I'm like, he kicks ass for the people to survive. Like, that's liberate. Like, that's a societal thing. So that's what I think when I hear a question like that. It's not capitalistic or socialist or communist or whatever. It's literally whatever that person who's watching One Piece in that state of mind thinks it can be. Like, I think it's socialist, but that's me.
I don't think we can give the whole show just like one part of the ideology. It contains everything. It contains like libertarianism. It contains communism. It contains capitalism. It contains socialism. So you can say Alabasta is a socialist, more of a socialist country. You can say like the world government is more of a communist country. More of a communist part. You can see the pirates are more of the libertarians. Yeah, libertarians.
Me. No. Yeah. I like libertarianism. I like that. Yeah.
So that was a little tangent there, but
yeah.
One Piece is more about I think anti-corruption, if anything. You know, I think it stands for you know, any government would work as long as the people in charge aren't corrupt.
Quite literally, yeah. But again, that's also like, that's one of the common threads, and that's why everyone else can see that, agree. But everything else, you're just like, Luffy as a personality, I think we literally just said our viewpoints both make sense. Neither one of us are wrong. No, that's why I personally believe One Piece is the best story of all time, because anyone can look at it and get two different things and be completely right. Like, that's why a story is amazing. For me personally. But back into the actual live action.
I'm kind of interested in Green. What do you think of so episode 1? You see the little kid, you see Colby, you see Luffy, you see Nami. Yeah, it's Noro. But okay, first of all, Colby. So in the anime and in the manga, you know, Kobe's like annoying, right?
He was less annoying for me, actually.
So I like the anime and manga Colby more.
Interesting. I'd say I'm the other way around.
Oh yeah, let's dig. So I kind of felt, then I heard somebody say, well, actually Kobe's actor is actually a better actor.
He's a really good actor.
Just whatever. But when I first saw it, I had what you thought, because what about what did you like about his approach versus the animator's approach? Did you think?
So for me personally, in getting to know this Kobe again, it's more because it was rushed for me. I got to know him a little bit better or quicker, to a point where I could tolerate him in a much more consolidated effort. The anime, I was just like, this dude, you're annoying. It wasn't as dragged out. Again, the anime kind of just does drag out the quirkiness of it. So you're also really seeing him like snap to it really quickly throughout the process of how we see him. So he is like only really one episode of truly being a coward, and then he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna step this up now." It's like, oh, okay, nice, as opposed to like the 7 or 8 episodes back in the day.
Well, his turning point is Luffy, right? The turning point is Luffy. So yeah, it makes sense that he would get the bravery after that. But
So, Grant, any thoughts on Colby, on how the live action Colby may differ from you for the anime? I'll just say right now, while you're thinking, Helmeppo in the live action, hands down a much better character. It was hilarious from start to finish. I hated the dude, and then I was just like, I like him. What's going on? Like, he became redeeming. Like, he was a very good educator piece, like, that knew how the Marines work and could educate Kobe and thus us. Like, he was a very, very good, like, narrative piece. Sprinkled there. Like, Helmeppo, just overall, for me, good character. Hated him. Good character.
I don't know if later is when, after towards the ending of the first season, is when he changes. But the current Helmeppo I am seeing is so arrogant and so full of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I guess that is the character like they're trying to show. But with Colby, I feel like I don't know, maybe it is because like since this one is more of like a real life real realistic, they're trying to show a realistic part, so it is more like he seems too like timid. Do you notice that? Like, it's like he seems too timid, like he's too reserved a lot of times to even maybe speak out on a lot of things. And even when he speaks out, just look at when he was trying to talk to Kuro, it was like he was scared of Kuro.
True. He was terrified of Kuro.
I like the
when Kobe was trying to talk to, when Kobe first got to the doors and all that.
Yeah.
In the
I like the more
manga,
outspoken Kobe.
Accent Morgan. What is he like? Is he like, hey, back up? Isn't he like shaking in his boots when he's talking to Accent Morgan when he's rescuing Helmeppo in the boat?
He was shaking in his boots because they were gonna blast him.
Yeah, so he's like, sir, yeah, I think he saw that shakiness when you're talking about. But maybe you're right. Maybe he would have been a little bit like less like that. Yeah.
But again, like, we have to think of how the anime like really just slapped us into him being a goddamn Chad. Like, we didn't really see him go from being we didn't see the progression and the development of Kobe. We just saw him being like, oh, bye Luffy, to him using frickin' shave and just being like, what's this? Like, what's happening right now? And then he gets bodied. That's the difference. And then you're an anime only. That's all you got. If you're a manga reader, which I unfortunately wasn't, then you got to see the cover stories. but Kobe's progression, being a part of the show, I thought was one of the benefits, and why I can actually say the show is like a 7.5 just overall. Anime adaptations, 10 out of 10. Like the curse is broken, and the fact that the curse was broken with One Piece, like, is a very emotional thing for me. Like, you have no idea how personally I was just like, please be good, and for it to be like serviceable and like people like really latching onto it, and then getting into the anime and manga because of it, it's like, it's a very emotional, it's a very sense of emotion that I can really not personally describe, except for just a bliss that is 18 years of my life. Just, and now more people can. One of my best friends, unfortunately, he texted me, he's not able to make it, he had a little bit of an accident. Like, when I was watching One Piece at 19 years old, we were living together, and he was just like, oh, One Piece, not really into that. 18 years later, he's now into it because of the live action. Like, that's just, again, why it's such a great story, why it can do all these things, and why I think that the live action, for what it is, being able to take Garp, again, spoiled a lot of people way early. I even talked to him, and he's like, man, where's Garp gonna show up? And I was like, oh, you got a while for him, for the anime. You don't see him for a minute.
The rabbit's already out of the hat.
Right?
You know? Like anytime someone's, hey, have you seen, did you know that that's Luffy's grandpa? It's the first thing that anybody's gonna get spoiled on if they don't know anyway. I love Space Blast on. Oh, okay.
I think that's like the one big reveal that I think was good, though.
Yeah, so now the people that are new to the anime and they haven't watched the live action, they are gonna get spoiled by by the ones who have watched the live action.
Yep.
I feel like, anyway.
That's messed up.
I feel like that's a good spoil.
That's fair. Also, question: do we call them Netflix onlys, or live action onlys, or LAO? So live action only, so LAO.
Yeah.
Live action only, but it's only 10 episodes. You have to be a real.
The noobs.
AOL.
It's
AOL,
8.
Is that what you're saying?
It's 8 episodes.
LAOs, live action only. LAOs. There's a bunch of LAOs. Not like LMAFOs.
Those LAOs spoiled with knowing who
Yeah.
Garp is. Damn LAOs. The anime onlys, LAOs, and manga readers. The triad has
I
officially.
feel like they're gonna get a shock. They're gonna get a very good shock when they see the actual manga and anime. If they are just watching the anime, the actual anime Garp, because the Garp in the live action and the anime Garp are two different people. Completely different people.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything because the very last episode kind of says some more. But we'll wait. I'm gonna wait till you finish, and we're gonna come back to that thought. Go ahead.
His reaction, even his reaction to how Luffy, like when Luffy broke down his ship, even his reaction, I was like, this is not Garp. This is not the Garp I know.
What are you talking about? He starts laughing.
He's too serious. He starts laughing, but you can see the frustration in his face. The anime Garp won't be frustrated. He will just be laughing, like hilarious, like hysterically.
Luffy breaking Garp's ship in the anime. I think when he got angry and then we agree to disagree. Well, we can agree to disagree on that one. I do.
Would you rather have a different actor do it?
No.
Not that I would rather have a different actor do it, but at least they should have loosened him up a bit to the way the Garp we know is. So like this Garp is too serious, and I don't like it.
Again,
the live action Garp.
Again, we're gonna need you to finish, and we're gonna have a conversation on live action Garp. I'm very interested in this. Speaking of characters. Sorry, Drew. What were you? No, I was gonna move into now that you've episode 5. So episode 5 is which one again? So
Barati.
eat up, Baratier. So, have you gotten to Zoro's fight yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
I'm
you
still
already.
in the
Well, you already know what
first minute.
happens. Well, you
Yeah.
already know what happens, so that wasn't a spoiler. Sorry to anyone else that. Luffy managed to turn the Marines, cannons. Oh yeah, so you're literally right at Luffy bouncing the cannon back and destroying the ship for Garp. So you're literally right
Now,
there.
right
Okay.
now, I'm literally at like Luffy looking at Sanji after Sanji kicked the hell out of this marine guy. I forgot his name. The pink-haired marine guy.
Full body came and
Full
got
body.
served.
Full body.
Full body got served. Oh man.
Yeah.
So
Hey, we're getting rid of the hypnotist. So, when they come back, I wonder what they're gonna do in their place. That'd be funny if they played with that idea and used 2 villains in the place of full body.
true. And if how they introduce him with Hina and all that, and if that even happens.
Too much to think about. Too much to think.
Right.
So episode 1. Wait. Just go back. One of my favorite scenes in this. No, episode 2 or 1. When's the dock fight scene? When Shanks is fighting the bandits. Did you see that, Sigrid?
I'm pretty sure that's like 2.
Is that episode 2?
That's
When
because
Follow shot of the red hair pirates fighting on the dock, and the camera's like following them.
Oh, I think I said when they were fighting the bandits.
yep.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
yeah.
Yasopp shot the guy off the pole.
Yeah. Say something bad about that, Sigrid. Go ahead. Try to besmirch that. What did you think of that scene? Did you like that one?
I can't remember much of the details.
It was cool. I thought Lucky Roo and Yasopp were pretty well done. Ben Beckman, I'm not really sure about his actor. Shanks' actor warmed up to me. The first few shots in the trailers, I was like, "Rrr." Now I'm like, all right.
Actor does he remind you of? I don't even know, but
No
like,
one really in particular.
My dog Skip, who's like the older brother character that goes off to war.
Dude, you are all over the place right now. I can't even think of that one. It was like, my dog Skip is like 2 decades ago for me.
Hey, come on, remember where he kicks the dog and it feels really bad?
Oh, man. You're an interesting lad. So,
Like, anyway, if I could just gush over that scene. So there's some really cool choreography that they do, and they keep on beating up people on the way out. And there's this one where they shoot off 3 people at once, like at the end, and then there's this follow shot. It's so well done, it's so great. And they just give Shanks, and they don't spoil any power, like how powerful Shanks is. Shanks just casually, boop, just like knocks out one person, and it's so perfect because we don't want to spoil how powerful Shanks is. We don't want to. We want Mihawk is the one to do that. And
fair.
I'll get back to that.
Now, I do like how Shanks, when he first is just like, and you just see Lucky Roo from like across the way, just being like, bow, and I'm like, yeah, Lucky Roo, that's my dude.
And that scene plays out different in the manga because there's like fan theories that Lucky Roo has the same thing that Shanks has, which is like a time, like a like warp fruit or something, or that he could, like. I think it plays different because the idea is that he appeared right there. It's like, whoa.
Well, they're super fast. Like, again, when we first met Garp, he just like blitzed past everyone, and like Sanji and them were like, what? Like that, Mihawk, when Mihawk first showed up, he disappeared and reappeared. Like, again, we're understanding ourselves as these normal people against the monsters. Like, there was power scaling before the power scaling became toxic. Come on now.
To Green, the
Yeah.
most interesting part is the part that you don't like. That's the most interesting part about this whole discussion for me. Come on, pick it apart. What else did you like? 'Cause
Shanks is
I like
hacky.
that.
Shanks is hacky. I didn't like the way they portrayed it.
Yeah, the deepened voice is a little like Batman-y, I guess, but
They.
Yeah, even the visuals. I don't think there's much, like, the videos didn't really portray how powerful Conqueror's Haki is. like the terror, like it didn't really portray the terror the sea monster was tearing down.
That's fair. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. As it, you can understand that it was intimidated, but you can't understand to what limit this thing was scared.
Why?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fair.
You see, in the anime, it showed like there was this how will I put this? It was like a bouncing back. You see, like the effect, the animation drew, maybe you understand. It was like a wave of like coming out from his eyes or bouncing back. So like you see the effect, and then you see it on the sea monster's face. Like it was terrified. It looked changed.
I can understand that. That makes sense to me. So, fair point. Very fair point. Now, do you feel like that takes away from the viewing experience, or do you feel like maybe someone who now is watching the anime is like, oh, that thing is now scared. Like, what is this? What's actually happening? So do you think like now that they jump in the anime, they could be like enhanced by everything?
People are smart enough to understand like, some kind of like power. They're like, oh, bung. It's like, dude. It's like, of course, it's like something's going on here. I think that's obvious, but maybe not.
To us who have watched the anime before the live action, is kind of a letdown. It's a bit of a letdown because we expected more with that particular scene. But to someone who who watched the live action first and then watching the anime, they might just look at it and be like, oh, it's because in the anime they have more room for like more flexible animation, more flexible effects.
So great with the hot
so
takes.
they might just think of that.
I can't wait till you finish the series and we get your thoughts on the parts that even I disagreed with, because those are more towards the very end.
Interesting. I give it so much leeway because I'm just so happy I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm also like, what could they have done? Like, his eyes are like super realistic, and it changes. And it's like it goes from to the. You know, they're like, hey, make his eyes change, and I go, okay, we can do that. What do you think of this? And they're like, that looks great. And so I don't know. I think that was executed at least. You know, but to say like, I don't know. It didn't seem. It seems kind of par for the manga, but. What episode was that at? Where are we at right now?
We're in this is around the 2 episode 2.
Oh, what do you think of Nami? Do you think she's like cute, or do you think, what do you think of her casting?
Amazing. Like, only person that's better than Nami in my opinion is Buggy.
Oh, we'll get to that. Wait.
Buggy is absolutely amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. So, we're still around the episodes 3 throughout this episode. So Luffy's childhood was Shanks learning the gum fruit. Let's see here. We'll save the talking about Buggy. So maybe discussing when Cert Village would be next.
Oh no.
Before we move there, I just wanted to like. They did a good job of showing how terrifying Arlong is, like, to someone near him. Showing like how scary Arlong and terrifying how he looks.
When Buggy was just like Arlong.
Yeah, and with the close up, you see his skin like very moist. Like you see the nose from close up. This dude is terrifying.
I think they did a good job. I'm not sure what I would visually have wanted better. Probably him to be like bigger, to be honest. Like Arlong's not Luffy's height. But
yeah.
So I prefer him to be taller, actually. Let me rephrase that. So other than that, like Arlong, I thought was pretty spot on. The music was fun. The fact when you first see him and his like fin shows up, that bit of writing was amazing. So again, we're getting ahead of ourselves because we haven't. This is getting into Barate, but like the fin rising above the water. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I can't wait to see how they do Holy Jones.
I can't wait to see how they do Shirahoshi.
Holy Jones and just let Arlong escape from and he went back to Arlong. Yeah, that's what they should have done. They should have just had Arlong. He knows hockey now. That's what they should have done.
Well, I don't think they'll skip Jinbei. So Jinbei is definitely like a foregone conclusion.
Jinbei! Remember he yells about, oh wait, sorry.
They even mention him.
Wait, stop! We're running. So great. So what did you think of? Let's just talk about Buggy. Now that's all I can think about.
Oh yeah, Buggy is great.
I just kind of feel like he steals the show, just because Buggy does steal the show, because Buggy's allowed to overact, and overacting is very easy to do, but some personalities are good at doing it, you know. And I think he is so good. He was so good. And what do you think of the CG and the whole stadium bit? How did they change? You know, what do you think about the changes, all that?
I like Buggy's. I like his acting. Is even the costume was spot on. What I can't wait to see is, we're seeing Buggy as someone like as a sort of a menace, but like so anyone who's just seeing the live action, he'll just think, oh, Buggy is someone strong, or Buggy is someone like a badass. They don't know who Buggy actually is. So I can't wait to see that side of Buggy, like the way the actor will act, the way he will portray that side of Buggy.
I mean, I think we're already getting it, to be honest. With the first entrance, and he was like, no, all wrong, and then he kicks it and hurts himself. Oh god, crap! It was just like, this is amazing. This is like this is awesome. Like, this is outstanding.
But I feel like that's like a famous movie line. What is that from? Wrong! It's all wrong! Just like this! And he's like, yeah, I don't know. That's just so classic. It's so good. Love it. Now, what about like pacing, like the pacing and like how they're exiting out stuff? Can you give your stamp of approval on like cutting things out and skipping over things?
Not all. Not
Same.
everything. Like
Same.
There are some stuff, sometimes even just a dialogue that they might cut out, which doesn't really feel the same, because like they cut out Kuina's dialogue where she was telling Zoro that she can't be a leader because she's a woman. I think they just changed it with that. Oh, she's a woman. He's gonna get bigger and stronger than she's ever gonna be. But in the anime and the manga, I don't know of the manga, but in the anime we clearly, like, she said she can't, like, her main frustration is that she can't be a leader. Her dad told her she can't be a leader because she's a woman, because she's a female. So cutting out that doesn't really strike the same, like as it did in the manga, changing the dialogue. Also, like, it just there are some stuff that just feel hit different in the anime that they do in the live action. For example, after Kuina's that the part of her funeral, it sounded a bit more emotional for me. But then I also remember that they cut out a lot of Zoro's reaction to that. So even though it hit a bit more emotional, cutting out Zoro's reaction was it wasn't as raw as like the anime.
It was also very disjointed because he was crawling out of a well. So we get the metaphor that he's overcoming something by literally crawling out of the well and how he got there, but it really should not have been part of Syrup Village. It was just very disjointed in that aspect.
Like jump on
Yes,
the,
I think to that I give them a little bit of.
Like the frog in the well is like the name of the chapter, and there's not a lot of allusion before that sense. So maybe that's just like their way of trying to connect that dot. Go ahead.
Oh, and Zoro also has green hair too. The frog in the well.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but also like I think to that I try to give them a little bit of slack since they don't have like the time luxury to show each flashback in its own as its own separate full scene or full episode. So probably that is as we see with Luffy's flashback also, they just cut it and put it into like in between several scenes. I think with flashbacks that is what they are trying to like let us know that okay, you guys are not gonna get like a full flashback like he did in the anime. We don't have that time luxury, so we're just gonna cut it and put it in between maybe relevant scenes.
And that's fair. It's all about how the story is told and how if they're effectively able to convey the narrative. Again, to pacing and what Drew was getting to earlier, that really negates the pacing in that context, especially when a lot was available to Usopp, but Usopp, for him in the story in general, he got his ass kicked, like mentally, physically, and we see him not being believed, and yes, that hurt his feelings, and no one will believe him. I get that. I'm sorry, bro. You're a known liar. So that's kind of the thing. But like, he didn't really go through it for defending Kaya. Like, he got his butt kicked by all the pirates. He got his butt kicked by himself. He got his butt kicked by Django. He got his butt kicked by the Black Cats. He got his butt kicked by Kuro. And in this, he literally just got pushed against the room. And I'm just like, a lot more. We could have not necessarily given Zoro all that, and had those moments for Usopp's character to be more befitting of going off to being a pirate. Because it doesn't really. I told this to Segurain when we first talked about this last time. Didn't feel earned. Him and Sanji's just didn't really feel earned.
Interesting. Sanji's?
Definitely.
After all, he helped him. It's like, oh yeah, that's.
Well, it was more like he wanted to join just after the argument, not necessarily seeing Luffy. And I, again, told Segurain this. One of the most important moments of Barate in the manga and anime is when Zeph was like, Luffy's different. He does not flinch. He does not stop. He does not slow down. That is what makes him different. They alluded to that when they're like, he's like Gold Roger. They were literally hitting it over the freaking head. He's Gold Roger. He's Gold Roger. He's like Gold Roger. I'm like, whereas back in the story, it's just like, people like that do not come around very often. People who force themselves, move forward, no flinching, no resilience. Like, that was when him and Don Krieg were fighting. We got.
Let's ride it, boys.
Let's ride it.
Okay. So so in this one, it's always been like, okay, Kuina versus Kushiki, the whole mystery here. That she looks like her. Did she actually die? Okay. In the anime too, there's a little bit of what, right? Like there's a little bit of Is that right? That's still like the mystery, right? Oh my god, I just had a great idea, which is what I'm trying to talk about right now. What if Tashigi versus Kuina happens for the best female swordsman, and Kuina's still alive and she just like left the village, and they're like, oh, she died, she's over it, she's gonna be there.
I really
have to,
hope
like,
against
mediate.
that. I'm sorry.
That'd be insane. I was just thinking about that.
I hope that Queen is dead. I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm sorry. No.
That's all there is.
Now, since Mary's dead, I'm pretty sure they're killing everyone in this live action. Like it's.
Okay, wait.
Spoiler alert! Mary's dead.
Let's separate. Wait. Let's separate it. Let's talk about the canon manga then. That idea. The canon manga what's Kuina's story? Do you think she's really dead? Canon.
No, I would be more on the side of the clones now that we're in the Clone War stuff.
She's a clone?
I'd be more on the side that Tashigi's a clone now that we're in that type of vicinity, but for Zoro as a person, like that's just, and I don't know, I guess I'm the outlier. When Zoro first entered Conqueror's Hockey and said, I'm gonna do this for my captain and my best friend, I was assuming he was talking about Luffy and Tashigi, not just Luffy. So I would really hope that she's still dead, like just for Zoro's sake as a character, because that's with a little character development that he's ever gotten. It's literally that. I laugh,
like,
but it is.
Kuina and Tashigi had a sword fight. And
Kuina will always win. In every alternate universe, you think of Kuina will always win.
I'm very interested to see if they make Tashigi look like her again. I'm very interested to make because we're getting confirmed Smoker. We already confirmed Smoker. So if they have Tashigi look like Kuina, and that's another plot point, I'm very interested to see how they play that out. To Drew's point, I'm very interested to see how they play it out. I hope that they're just not like, surprise! I've been alive the whole time, and now my code name is Tashigi because the village gave me up to save everyone. I don't know. See, that's why we don't like. No, it's a rabbit hole we don't want. No one wants that.
They're gonna play with the idea that
Yeah,
they look
that.
like.
And also, yeah, I think they look at it alike, but then you have to think that Kuina has blue hair, even though she could dye it. I just don't think, even the clone stuff. I don't think so. It's just that, like, this is gonna, at the end, this is gonna be an emotional moment for Zoro. Imagine the time he finally defeats Mihawk, or whoever is the greatest, or whoever is the greatest swordsman at the time, could be Shiryu or someone.
Thank you for saying that.
Imagine the time he finally does that. The first thing he's gonna remember is Kuina. So it's gonna be a very, very emotional moment for not just Zoro, even us the fans, because this is a vow that has been going on his whole life, and he has.
It looks like you're freezing up there for a second, brother.
And then to think that is what up now?
You're good now.
So it's like, imagine after all that, and then to find out that Kuina is Tashigi. Even not even that. Let's even go a bit lower to think that Tashigi is a clone of Kuina.
So what's the point?
You see.
Hey,
Unfortunately, we're pausing. We'll pause that for a second.
Hey, so great. We're gonna pause on you for a second.
Like,
Anyway,
oh, yeah.
here, we should really try to mute it.
I got no clue.
We'll
The
give him a second. We'll give him a
thing
second.
is,
1 second. 1 second, Segrain. Give yourself a second to catch up, and just give a wave so we know you're all caught up.
all right.
So real quick,
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, but give yourself a second for your screen to catch up, because you catch up and then it stops. So give yourself a second. I'm gonna talk about this real quick.
Okay.
Salamander Red has a few chats. We need to stop the Kawina eraser. We're not necessarily. I don't think we're erasing, and I don't necessarily know what the eraser part is, but no Kawina slander here. Like, we're all Kawina people, but we just hope that she's.
Can I read the
Hope
second
she's going.
one?
Go ahead.
Oh man, and also I can see my face in the live action. It was stuck in a
Okay.
Anyway, he goes, overall thoughts on the live action. Need Emily Rudd to sit on me. Oh my gosh.
I can live with stepping. I can just live with stepping.
You know what? Spitting. You know, come on. Stepping.
I'm fine with that.
No, terrible, guys. Terrible. No, Emily Rudd is great. And she's cute, and she's kind of like, and she's a big knowledge head on One Piece. No, she's great.
Oh yeah, she was actually one of the only fans out of the original cast too. Everyone else has read it since, but she was like the first original fan. But I think now that we can see some good motion there with some great. Oh, nope, you're spotty again. Never mind. Yep. Darn it. So we'll get Segrain's thoughts back here in a second. Let's see here.
What does Kawina eraser mean? What is a Kawina eraser?
I'm not
Am
sure.
I back?
You're back. Nope. You're already frozen again. All right. Let's see here.
She has one of the best performances. Let's go like this. Yeah, it's great. She.
What up now?
Still frozen, bro.
Yeah.
Again, start like. I think we're good now. Yep, I think we're good now. Yeah, you're good. So
Okay.
let Drew finish his thoughts, and then we'll come back to you. Okay.
She has.
Alright.
You know what, I noticed in some of the scenes, it was kind of funny that she's nice bullet. I saw that. I just saw it in the live stream. Emily Rudd has these scenes where her eyes are super dilated. and I was
Well, they always do the
and I was
frickin'
like,
face panning.
Yeah. Wait, what was that one more time?
No, they always do the face panning where they just like. And it's just like, you don't need to get that close every single time. They get very, very close to their face, and it's just like, Garp, I don't need you to talk like this. It's like, what's happening with this camera angle?
But I love. What I was going to talk about one of my favorite scenes, and it's in episode 7. We're going to talk about it a different day.
Yeah, so we'll get on that a different day, because that's when it gets to the real emotional parts. But a lot of people were even like, oh, she's being so mean and stiff. What's going on? Yes, because she doesn't trust this dude who's a literal nightmare. And then you can see her, like, literally start to, her, I guess, defenses start to whittle down. Like, you can literally see from episode 1 to 4, her really start to care about these people. And the fact that she was upset after everything happens, again, can't go too into it because Segrain's literally at that part, but she was literally upset for everything that happened as well. Literally upset. Not about, and she cared. She really cared. So I think personally she did a great job. As far as actor,
Here's a great stick. Her stick is great. It's big. Boom.
Oh yeah.
She's great with her stick.
Segrain, let's get you back in now that it seems like you're. You haven't frozen in a hot second.
Okay.
Favorite Emily Rudd
Okay.
moment so far? What's your favorite Emily Rudd moment?
Let's see, favorite moment so far.
From Emily Rudd specifically.
Just say no.
Yeah, I think it was her moment with Kaya.
That was a great bit of Great call, Segrain. Out of all of Syrup Village, that was one of the greatest entries and additions that they gave. Kaya having character. What? Great call. Oh my goodness, Nami's judging her, and then she get caught stealing, and then they have this huge heart to heart.
Yeah.
Great call.
Great. Even in the anime, as far as I can remember, because I don't really go back to rewatch. So from what I can remember, I don't think it hit that deep. Even in the anime.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Salamander said they love the fisheye lens. The green survived Foxy hitting him with the slow-mo beat.
That's what I'm laughing at right now.
Yeah, I love it. Salamander Red, welcome, man. You're commenting.
I'm sorry.
The
The slow beam. So from now on, whenever someone is slagging, they got hit. Where's Foxy? Someone tell Foxy to knock it. Someone tell Foxy to knock it off. Oh, that's gonna be a thing.
Man, that's hilarious.
Wait, you're on the live browser. Would it be illegal to look at the panel where the admiral is going over the water and that fisheye lens look? But all I wanted to say was that Oda has a lot of fisheye lens.
Wait, in the live action or?
I guess I think so. They love the fisheye lens. That's a good talk about.
Oh yeah.
And they did with Buggy. I forget that shot. They did the shot. They did another zoom up on Noro, and I can't remember. It must have been in the courtyard. And then the team up, and that's just so you can get more people in the shot where everyone's fighting. Okay. But Oda loves the fisheye. He likes to draw the fisheye. And I think it's actually a OnePiece staple. If you start looking at that. Yeah. Anyway, Salman, great comment. I love that.
Amazing comment. So funny.
I used to have a fisheye lens, and actually, I gave my current fisheye to, or not gave, you have my Sensei 18. I used to have a really good one, and that's interesting. What do you think? Anything? Should we? What do we want to talk about today about the live action? Any other?
Well,
you don't like about it?
let's
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm currently at Bertie. Something I noticed, I think DarkBriton last time you probably have told me this. Sanji saw a beautiful lady, and he didn't lose his shit.
It's subtle. It's very subtle and it's very appreciated. Like, it's now again when you could tell when he was just having a bad day and he was like, this place sucks, blah blah blah, and Nami's like, oh, and he's like, oh, hey girl, how you doing? Well, we got this and we got this. So I'm like, that part, I was like, all right, that's tolerable Sanji in 2023. No one's getting canceled. Sanji's not getting canceled now. We're not gonna get the nosebleeds. He's not, none of that. It's not gonna be a plot point in Fishman Island. We have to figure out something else. Thankfully.
But then at this point in even in the anime and manga, at this point he's not having nosebleeds, but like his reaction is way like
tempered.
More, yeah.
It's appreciated. There's a lot of stuff that's just appreciated as far as their character designs. Again, I'm not sure how we'd have done the Usopp nose. I'm glad that we didn't. The fact that after I saw that episode and I saw drawings of anime Usopp and Kaya trying to kiss and his nose like hitting her in the forehead, the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god! But just, I'm very glad for that little thing. Just like, that nose would have been just a real distraction. We got the Pinocchio reference. He's the boy who cried wolf. I would have just liked him to get his ass kicked a little bit more. Like,
so we're also not getting a Kaku nose.
Unfortunately not. That joke's not gonna land.
Yeah.
Square nose and round nose is not gonna be a thing anymore.
You haven't gotten to
But
Sanji's
then,
backstory yet, have you? I'm just curious.
huh? Sorry, what?
Did you get to Sanji's backstory yet?
Not yet.
Alright, get ready for that. Alright.
They do it well. Well, he's at least seen Zeph. Who do you think's a better?
I've seen Zeph.
Who do you think is the better character? Choice. Zeph for the guy who plays Zeph's role, or a guy who plays Garp's role. I'm guessing probably since you don't like Garp, but I don't know.
So, from the first appearance, I like how they first showed Zeph's leg, but then it is inverted. In the anime, Zeph's amputated leg is the left one.
Good catch.
In the manga, is the right one. They inverted it. So, but I like the way it started, like from the leg, and then it goes up. And I think they did a better job at accurately portraying Zeph's personality than Garp's personality from the anime and manga.
There.
Because we all know Zeph is a grumpy old man, but we don't know Garp for that.
He is a grumpy old. His introduction. I'm sorry. When Luffy gave him the IOU, and Sanji's just like, "Thank you, sir. This is about to be hilarious." And then here comes Ups like, "Who's monkey they living?" Oh, so funny. Oh, and then they're
It's subtle. Will you give it that, Sigreen? That was subtly played. Like they don't you think that was like really realistic and wonderfully executed? Or will you give it that?
Drew, is it me cutting off or is it you cutting off?
it might be you.
I didn't hear the entire question.
I heard Drew.
Oh, he did.
Okay, I didn't hear the entire question.
Oh, you know what? I was like, that scene, was it not subtle and well executed?
Which one? Which of the scenes?
With Sanji and the Sanji getting the check and everything. Like he plays it really well. It's funny because it's organically funny. I think they acted that well. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, did I cut off again for you, Sigreen? Because I saw that you were.
No, I didn't freeze. I'm just trying to think of have I watched the scene you're talking about, or is it so where I am currently? Where I am
Push your
currently, I
mouthpiece
have.
closer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah?
Drew, so we can hear him a
Oh,
little bit
okay,
louder.
okay.
I saw how what happened. I had trouble.
No, you're good. So, no, Sigrain, Drew's talking about literally the subtlety of the IOU when Luffy's like, "We've already paid. I just haven't given you the money yet." That's what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about
I haven't reached there.
that. Oh.
So, no, you've seen Sanji.
I've seen Sanji. I'm literally in the second scene where Sanji is shown. So after he got kicked out of the kitchen.
Okay, so they haven't sat down to eat yet.
Yeah. They have sat down, but they haven't been served. So
Okay.
Sanji just kicks these guys, but
Okay,
and then
I'll be quiet
That's
then,
right.
because I know exactly where you're at, and I may have. Yeah. So you'll see about the Sanji simping here pretty soon. But we just hit 59 minutes. I don't want to go too far past the hour, but I want one last thing to discuss about the live action. Maybe one more. It looks like Drew wants something else he wants to talk about. But I have one thing that is like definite that we should talk about. People will die. Mary's dead.
people are dying.
What are your thoughts about the fact that Mary's dead? Like, I was just wondering. I was like, oh, he's dead. It's like, oh, they did kill him. And I was even waiting till the very end. I was like, is Mary still alive? And she's like, in Mary's honor. And I'm like,
And it makes so much more sense why they named it the Going Merry when it's like that. Hello.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Kaya needs to own the business, do her own thing. She doesn't need a servant anymore. She's her own woman. It's a big house. It's too big for her. Whatever. Yeah, gotta move on. Oda didn't want to kill anybody because his grandma said something. Grandma didn't, or his mom. No, his grandma didn't want him to kill people in his manga, so he didn't.
Well, here's the thing, man. Who's gonna start going?
The live action is deviating a bit, and I think the deeper we get, the more it's gonna deviate from the actual manga canon we know.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're gonna get a lot more depth in the live action. Are we foreshadowing the death of Willow P?
Well, here's the thing. We're gonna get to Alabasta. I don't know how he's gonna survive. I think Pell's gone.
And Ingram. Igram's gonna die too.
Igram's probably gonna die. If we get to Sky Island, Pops is gonna definitely die from that electrocution. I don't see.
Igram's wife looks just like him, so she's just gonna be the stand-in when they get to Alabama.
That's gonna be a wild joke. I'm not sure. I'm very interested how we're gonna do Chopper in the second season, because that's also something to discuss. Is
I think it's just gonna be a CGI.
Detective Pikachu did really well, so I hope. Yeah, but here's the thing, we have a season 2 committed. We have a season 2 officially announced. Oda said it via Transponder Snail. What are our thoughts on Transponder Snails? Live action Transponder Snails. What are your thoughts?
Creepy, and it looks like a hand is moving it, but it's actually animatronic. I think it looks creepy, right? And they make it.
Yeah, exactly. They look very realistic, but they also look very creepy.
It's everything I wanted and more. I love them so much.
Even the sound effect as they move their mouth is like skin. It's like raw skin moving, or raw meat moving. It's
raw meat moving. Wow. Oh. This dude. Okay, Segrain. Oh man. Any other discussion topics for yourself? Any other thoughts from the people in the chat? Again, don't want to get a full thoughts just because Segrain's not fully done. He's halfway. They're literally all about to meet Sanji in the Baratie. So that'll be very fun. What are our thoughts on the bounty posters? At least I don't think we've discussed.
Oh, I love the bounty introductions. I think Ron Review said it best. The anime needs to copy that. They need to blatantly copy that bounty introduction.
That'd be a great homage too. I think
if the anime starts doing it.
Yeah, with the effects Arlong cutting it up with his nose. I think Mihawk cut it up with his sword, right?
Mihawk sliced it in half.
Squeezing Buggy squeezing, Kuro also cutting it up into pieces. I think they need to copy that.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Let's get out of here.
Alright. Thank you all for joining us, Salamander. You have been amazing. Please know that every time we start lagging or anytime someone's going to slow, we're just going to be like, where's Foxy? Where's Foxy?
Yeah.
Because he's just slowing everyone down.
Foxy.
We gotta find Foxy.
Foxy button. We need a Foxy button.
We gotta find a Foxy button. Once we start doing emotes and stuff like that, that'll probably be people when they let us know, they could just start.
Hotkey thing.
Just
I do have it.
just have like foxes in the chat or something like that. But it was fun. It great stream. Next week we should be back with our live reactions for the manga chapters, and then we'll hopefully start to get our buddies on as well. Thank you to everyone watching. I am the DarkBriton of the Runaway Warlords. This has been The Amazing Lads. Thank you to everyone watching, and always remember that anime is adulting. We'll catch you next time. Peace.